Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day to my continental African family, my Ghanaian Africans, my South Africans, my Basutu Africans, my Malawian Africans, my Mozambique Africans, my Cote d'Ivoire Africans, my Sierra Leone Africans, my Congolese Africans, my Ethiopian, Eritrean, my Nubian Africans, my Somali, my Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, my Cameroonian Africans, my Burkina Faso, my Mali, my Niger Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my European Africans, my British Africans, my French Africans, my Irish, my German, my Italian Africans, my Belgium Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Canadian Africans. Toronto, Canada, I will see you, God willing, October 4th, October 5th, and October 6th. If you live in Canada, the Prince of Pan-Africanism is back in Canada for the first time in 12 years. The first time in 12 years. There's a meet and greet on the 4th. There's a meet and greet on the 5th. And there's a power lecture at the Jamaican Canadian Association on Sunday the 6th. Toronto, Canada, Jamaica Canadian Association, JCA, Sunday, October the 6th. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Central American Africans, my Panama, my Costa Rica, Belize, Honduras Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my South American Africans, Brazil, Suriname, Guyanese Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Jamaican, my Haitian, my Bermudian, my Turks and Caicos, Bahamian, St. Croix, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, St. Thomas, St. Martin Africans, my Guadeloupean Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Barbadians Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Sydney, Australia Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Melbourne, Australia Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my South Pacific Africans. My Africans in North Asia. My Africans in South Asia. My Africans in East Asia. My Africans in West Asia. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my indigenous Africans in the Middle East. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Jersey Africans, New York Africans, Connecticut Africans. Texas, I will see you October 12th. Dallas, Texas, October 12th. Dallas, Texas, October 12th. HBCU Edward Waters University this Thursday, September the 26th, completely sold out. HBCU Edward Waters University, Jacksonville, Florida, Thursday, September the 26th. Tickets are completely sold out. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Texas and Georgia Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my California, Seattle, Portland, North Dakota, South Dakota, Salt Lake. My Salt Lake City Africans, I might be coming to see you. My Salt Lake City Africans, I might be coming to see you soon. My Wyoming Africans, peace and Pan-Africanism to my Wyoming Africans. Brothers and sisters, first of all, peace and Pan-Africanism to my African-centered Christians. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my African-centered Christians. Today is Sunday, the worship day of our Christians. Many of my Pan-Africanist forefathers were Christians. I don't have an issue with Christianity. I have an issue with how Christianity has and is being used against African people. If you're going to church this morning, I pray you a safe journey and a safe return home. Make sure you say a prayer for Dr. Umar. Say a prayer for African redemption. I just hope that your Jesus does not look like your persecutor. I just hope that the image of your Lord is not the image of our enslaver. I just hope that the image of your Lord is not the image of the colonizer. That's all I hope. But happy Sunday to my Christian African brothers and sisters. Happy Sabbath yesterday to my Hebrew African brothers and sisters. Peace and love to my Muslim African brothers and sisters around the world. Okay? Djibouti, I'm ready to come to Djibouti. Where's my invitation? I'm ready for the Congo. Where's my invitation? I'm ready for Mozambique and Angola. Where's my invitation? I'm ready to come back to Curacao. I'm ready to come back to Jamaica. I might be in Jamaica next. I might be in Jamaica next month for the Paul Bogle celebration. Morant Bay. Where my Morant Bay Jamaicans at? Where my Morant Bay Jamaicans? I might be in Jamaica for the Paul Bogle celebration. October the 24th. The Paul Bogle celebration in Jamaica, Morant Bay. Somebody tell President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso that Dr. Umar is ready to visit Burkina Faso. I need to talk to Ibrahim Traoré. Somebody give him my number. We need some land in Burkina Faso so we can build a community for Africans in the diaspora in the Sahel states. Somebody get the general of Mali, get the colonel of Niger on the phone. We need land in Burkina Faso. We need land in Mali. We need land in Niger so we can come and build a diasporan community in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and in Mali. We are ready. Where are all of my American Africans who are ready to repatriate? Where are all my Canadian Africans who are ready to repatriate? Where are all my Central American Africans who are ready to repatriate? Where are my South American Africans who are ready to repatriate? Where are my European Africans who are ready to repatriate? Brothers and sisters, there's a couple of trends that are being enacted against African people globally that I wanted to speak to briefly. There are a couple of trends that are being enacted against African people globally that I want you all to be aware of. There's already a global abortion trend. We know that. There's a global abortion trend. We know that. There's a global rainbow agenda against African people. We know that. We know about the abortion agenda against African women globally. We know about the rainbow agenda against African children that was started by President Barack Insane Obama. So we got a rainbow trend. We got an abortion trend. And then the next trend that we're seeing, there is an agricultural sabotage trend. Bill Gates and company, the global agricultural elites, they want to colonize and monopolize all organic seed and crop. They want to make sure black people cannot eat real food. I want y'all to listen to me. I want y'all to listen to me. CEO Bill Gates, colonizer, enslaver, oppressor. CEO Bill Gates, colonizer, enslaver, and oppressor. Bill Gates and company. They want to eliminate the ability of African people around the world to grow and consume real food. Brothers and sisters, you have to do all you can to get your hands on some real seed. You have to do all you can to get your hands on some real seed. They are in Africa right now. My Africans, my continental Africans, listen up. They are in Africa right now, And they are trying to force the African Union in all African countries to stop their farmers from trading seed with each other. They are trying to stop farmers, African indigenous farmers. They're trying to stop them from using their own seed. And they're trying to get the countries in Africa to force the farmers in Africa to only buy seed from Bill Gates and the Caucasian parasite elites. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all hear what I just said? We don't want your farmers using organic seed anymore. Stop them from using organic seed. Make them buy their GMO from us. Make them buy GMO seed from the global white parasites. Brothers and sisters, they are trying to eliminate forever organic farming in Africa that has went on for millennia. They are trying to destroy forever organic farming in America, in Africa, that has went on for millennia. Hook and Reel, this was a seafood restaurant I ate at in New Jersey 2 visits ago to the Source of Knowledge, not this last visit. Shout out to everyone who came out to the Source of Knowledge bookstore. My apologies to my Newark, New Jersey family. I did not text message you all about my last visit. I apologize. I forgot to text message everyone in my contacts. As a result of that, some of you didn't know that I was at the Source of Knowledge last Sunday. I apologize for that. I will be coming back to the Source of Knowledge for a Black Parent Boot Camp, and I will keep you guys posted on that. Now, I'm talking about the elimination of organic farming for African people around the world, and y'all want to talk about Sean Puffy Combs. I want you to see how low vibrational African people are in this day. We're talking about the possibility of the global white agricultural elite eliminating black people's access to real food. We're talking about a very real problem, African survival, that Bill Gates and the parasitic European agricultural elite trying to eliminate the ability of African people around the world to grow real food, access real food, consume real food. And y'all want to talk about Sean Puffy Combs. Let me say this to you low vibrational Africans, you demons in flesh. Let me say something to you low vibrational demon in flesh Africans. Do you know why they gave you Sean Puffy Combs at this time? Do you know why did they do this right now? We know why they did it. They did it so he couldn't help Kamala Harris. They did it because he was suing parent company to his liquor product. They did it because he was working on some initiatives that would have undermined some of the corporate elites in America. They did it because he started a black political party. We know why they did it. But you don't know why they did it at this time. I'm talking about the timing. Not just the agenda, the timing. You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? The reason they gave you Puff Daddy during election season, the reason they decided to serve up Sean Puffy Combs a few weeks before the election is they want to distract you from the laws that they are passing. They want to distract you from the policies that they are enacting. They want to distract you from the initiatives that they are implementing. This is a distraction. And because they know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want black people to pay attention to. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want American Negroes or Africans around the world to pay attention to. And we fall for the bait every time. There's nothing wrong with a conversation on Sean Puffy Combs. But when you scroll through black Twitter and you scroll through black Instagram and you scroll through black Facebook and you scroll through black TikTok and all you see is gossip and conversation about one man at a time like this, then you know you are engaged in a grand distraction. Sean Combs is a distraction. And anytime you see something like this, you should ask yourself, what are they trying to distract African people away from? One of the things they want to distract you away from, they want to distract you away from the fact that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no agenda for African people. One of the things they want to distract you away from. See, before they gave you Sean Puffy Combs on a silver platter, before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Kamala, what are you going to do for us? Before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Donald Trump, what are you going to do for us? Before they broke the news on Sean Combs, some of you were saying black people need to consider Jill Stein. Some of you were saying black people need to consider Cornel West. Some of you were saying black people need to consider their own political party. But after they broke the news on Sean Combs, Kamala Harris was no longer the most important conversation in the community. Donald Trump was no longer the most important conversation in the community. The Green Party and the People's Party were no longer the focus of attention. Black people were tuned into what are these candidates going to do for us? And then all of a sudden, they said black people are having too much political talk. This Dr.Umar Tunde got teenagers talking about a black presidential agenda. This Dr.Umar Tunde got these Gen X's and Gen Z's and millennials focused on politics. We got to dumb these Negroes down. This Tunde movement is a bit much. What can we do to take black America's attention off of this damn election? They are asking too many questions that we don't have any answers to. So what can we do to nigrify black consciousness until November the 4th? What can we do to nigrify? What can we do to nigrify black consciousness until the election? They looked at their calendar. They said, listen, we gave Kamala Harris an interview in Philadelphia with the National Association of Black Journalists, who didn't really ask her much of anything. We don't plan on giving Kamala Harris no more interviews. We might give her Roland Martin, because he's been a very loyal Democratic Party plantation slave. We might throw Roland Martin a plantation bone. But we don't plan on having Kamala answer too many more questions about black agenda. We don't plan on having Donald Trump answer too many more questions about the black agenda. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got exactly 6 weeks until election. What can we do to get black people talking about something else? How can we distract these Negroes? We know that they're emotional. What do we know about black people? We know that they are emotional. We know that they are very politically uneducated. They're very emotional. They're very politically uneducated. And they love to see their most popular people destroyed and humiliated in the public eye. So what can we do? And they said, give them Puff Daddy. Give them Puff Daddy. 2 birds with 1 stone. If we give black people Puff Daddy, if we give them Sean Combs, we stop him from supporting Kamala. We stop him from suing the liquor company. We stop him from all these all-black investments. We stop him from the black political party. We destroy his finances so he can't support no black folks. And most of all, we get black people talking about something else than the presidential race. Look what they did to us. When did they first drop the news on Diddy? Can somebody give me a date? Can somebody give me a date? When did they first drop the news on Diddy? Can somebody give me, when did we first hear, when was Diddy arrested? Let me see. Sean Combs arrested. What date did they arrest Combs? Let's see. Let me see. When was Sean Puffy Combs arrested? September the 16th. He was arrested September the 16th. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks from election. Sean Combs was arrested September the 16th. Exactly 7 weeks from election. Why did they do it now? To stop the black political movement for justice. That's why they arrested Puffy. It has only been, tomorrow will be 7 days. Tomorrow, Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Sean Puffy Combs, the diddler, would have been arrested. It ain't been a full week yet. It hasn't been a full week, and you emotionally immature Negropeans. It hasn't been a full week yet, and you emotionally immature Negropeans have taken your attention completely off of election 2024. You have taken your attention completely off of the black agenda from 2024, and you have put it on Puff. You have been outsmarted, you have been outmaneuvered, and you have been out-strategized by the white power structure once again. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off at the Playboy Mansion. Puff Daddy had intermittent freak-offs. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody said a word. This is nothing but a distraction from the election. This is nothing but a distraction from Kamala Harris's procrastination. Now let me get back to the crops. I'm going to put together a all-black organic farming conference in America. And we need to do the same thing in Africa. We need to do the same thing in the Caribbean. We need to do the same thing in Central and South America. We need to do the same thing in Canada. We need to do the same thing in Australia. We need to do the same thing in Europe. We need an organic black farming conference. to figure out how we are going to save and protect organic seed for our children's children. This is why Bill Gates has bought up all the farmland. This is why Bill Gates has bought all the farmland. This is why Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland. He wants to eliminate organic food. He wants to eliminate real food, and he wants to give you artificial food. Artificial food to do what? Kill off African people. We are in the age of African genocide. Global African genocide. Do not vaccinate your children. Do not vaccinate my Africans in Africa. My Africans in Africa. My Christians who are going to church this morning. My Christians who are going to church this morning. When you get to church, I want you to ask the pastor, where in the Bible did God say we should vaccinate our babies? I need you to ask the pastor, where in the Bible does God say we should vaccinate our children? Shout out to my Muslim Africans. Shout out to my Muslim Africans. When you go to Friday Jummah, when you go to the masjid for Friday Jummah, when you go to the, I love you too, baby. When you go to the masjid for Friday Jummah, I want you to ask the imam, where in the Quran does it say, thou shalt vaccinate your babies? You mean to tell me African people been on this planet for 2 million years? African people been on this planet for 2 million years. Modern African been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years. No vaccinations. No vaccinations for hundreds of thousands of years. No vaccinations. And then all of a sudden, the white man takes over the world. And after the white man takes over the world, African people, who are the organic people, we are the only organic people. God made black people, the only race that God made from scratch. The only race that God made from the soil. The only race that God made from the black mud is African. We are the organic people of this planet. Everybody else is a hybrid of the African. No disrespect. No disrespect. Africans are the organic humans, which means we are the only original humans. Everyone else is a hybrid of the African. So for my snow bunny hoppers and my snow puppy lovers, so for my snow bunny hoppers and my snow puppy lovers, why would an organic African want to procreate with a hybrid? Why would an organic African want to procreate with a hybrid? Why would an organic African want to procreate with a hybrid? But I digress. I digress. Organic people can only eat organic food. Are you listening to me, African people? Organic people can only eat organic food. Organic people should only consume organic crop. Organic people should only consume organic flesh. If you have to eat animal meat, and yes, I don't want to be a hypocrite, I shall have Philly cheesesteak. I shall have Philly cheesesteak, but it needs to be organically fed beef, organically fed chicken, organically fed fish, organically fed turkey. We have to go back to organic food because we are an organic people. A lot of the suicide in the African community, a lot of the suicide, all the killing of self, group suicide and individual suicide. Homicide is group suicide. Okay? Homicide is group unalivings. Personal unaliving, Group unaliving, a lot of that is because the food we eat contains spiritual toxins, not just neurotoxin, not just chemotoxin, not just biotoxin. The food you're eating contains spiritual toxins that are disrupting your connection with divine source. African people must always be in connection with divine source. When we lose connection with divine source, do you understand, overstand, and understand? Organic people must eat organic food. Do you understand, overstand, and understand? We must be in continuous connection with source. The food you eat must alkalinize, if that is a word. The food you eat must alkalinize your body so you remain in alignment with source. Black women, I know you don't want to hear me say this. Black women, my beautiful African sisters, I love you so much. My continental African queens, my European Africans, my African women in Asia, my Canadian African sisters, I can't wait to see you week after next. My HBCU Jacksonville, Edward Waters University African queens, I will see you on Thursday. I love my African sisters. But y'all are in denial about the fact that y'all are suffocating your crown. This is your crown. This is where God connects to your central nervous system. This is your crown. Black women are frying their crown, bleaching their crown, putting perms and weaves on your crown. Black women, you cannot claim to be spiritual as an African woman. You cannot claim to be spiritual as an African woman. Stop worrying about where's my wife and worry about this wisdom right now. Stop worrying about where's my wife and worry about this wisdom right now. Stop worrying about where's my wife and worry about this wisdom right now. See, the problem with a lot of you low vibrational souls, because you don't want to be accountable to the doctrine of Ifa Tunde. You don't want to be accountable to the message of Ifa Tunde. So what you do is you try to distract from my ministry by trying to poke holes in my personality. You try to distract from my ministry by trying to poke holes in my personality. You try to distract from my ministry by trying to poke holes in the personality. Stop worrying about my wife. I may never have one. Does that mean I'm not on a divine mission? Shaka Zulu never married. King Shaka never married. But he kept South Africa from being invaded for at least 50 years. Dr. Carter G. Woodson never married. Don't get me wrong. I want to be married. But Dr. Carter G. Woodson never married, but he gave you Black history. Focus on the message and not the man. You can crucify me all day. I could care less. You don't matter. My work is to African people, but it is for the Almighty. My work is to African people, but it is in service to the Almighty. My work is for African people, but it is in service to the Almighty. What did the Black Christ say in the Bible? The Black Christ said, I am sent unto the house of Israel. Dr. Umar is sent into the house of Africa. I am not here to save the East Indian, but I wish them the best. I'm not here to save the Anglo-Saxon, but I wish them the best. I am not here to save the non-African Latino, but I wish them the best. I'm not here to save the Asian or the Arab or the Chinese. I'm not here to save them. I wish them all the best, but I was sent to the house of Africa. I am sent to save the lost children of Africa. That is my mission. That is my mission. And so what you think of me is irrelevant. Yes, I am aware that there are Neanderthals on YouTube. Neanderthal struggle streamers are now starting to give commentary on the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Caucasian YouTubian struggle streamers are now starting to include me in their content. And some Negropean YouTubian struggle streamers are now linking up with the Caucasian struggle streamers to try to stop the mission and the ministry and the movement of Ifa today. And all I can say to them is, good luck with that, because you are messing with a chosen one. You are messing with a chosen one. So if the YouTubian struggle streamers want to link up against the Prince, so be it. Give me your best. Because when you go to war with me, I got a legion of ancestors all around me. This is why you haven't taken me down yet. You should have already known this. 14 years and still the most relevant. 14 years and still the most powerful. 14 years and still the most requested. 14 years. You should know by now. There's divine calling over Dr.Umar Ifa Tunde. You should know this by now. I've had people around me try to take me down. I've had frenemies try to take me down. I've had ex-lovers try to take me down. I've had baby mamas try to take me down. I've had relatives try to take me down. Black bourgeoisies who have tried to take me down. You should know by now that there's something special about him. You should know by now. What did Black Christ? Have you not seen? Have you not heard? Have you not understood that a descendant of the people who suffered the worst Holocaust in human history might just be the person God chose to save the African race? I'm just giving it to you straight. Is it possible that a descendant of the peoples of Africa who suffered the worst human Holocaust in recorded history might be the one chosen to save the African race? But let me get back to these global trends to destroy African people. I'm still looking for volunteers. Here's my question to my black farmers. If you are in Africa, if you are in London, if you are in the Caribbean, if you are in Europe, I don't care where you are. If you willing to come to the school and start us out on some crops, I need some expert farmers. Give me a handful of expert farmers. We want to fly you in for 1 week. Listen to me. We want to fly you into Wilmington, Delaware for 1 week. And we need you to help us start a farm on our campus. We need a garden. If you live in America and you're interested, if you live in Canada and you're interested, if you live in Africa and you're interested, if you live in Central South America, is there anyone out there? I put this call out a couple months ago. Some people told me they could help, but they were not available. Well, if you're not available, you can't help. I want someone to come and help us start our garden. We don't have a lot of land around the school, but we got enough land around the school. Also, if you do fencing, I need a black fencing company in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, DC. Somebody who can drive up and put a couple fences around the campus. Anybody know any black men who install regular chain link fence? I need some brothers or sisters who install regular chain link fence. I need some brothers or sisters who can install regular chain link fence. I also need community gardeners. Are there crops we can plant right now? Are there any crops we can plant right now? Are there any crops we can plant right now? Because right now is the fall equinox, brothers and sisters. The fall equinox is happening right now. In fact, I've been on the phone with you during the fall equinox. I've been on the phone with you. 8:43 a.m. was the fall equinox. I started my live coincidentally the same time as the fall equinox. Today, we will have equal light and equal darkness. Today, we will have equal light and equal darkness. This is the fall equinox. Sunday, September the 22nd. Equal light and equal darkness. Today you should meditate. Today you should pray. Today you should set your intentions. Today you should pour libation to your ancestors. Today you should hold yourself accountable for your sins, your lack of discipline, things you did wrong. Today is the day to reset yourself for the rest of the year. Because remember, we got the Nat Turner eclipse October 2nd. Get your tickets, natturnerlibrary.com. Get your tickets, natturnerlibrary.com. Get your tickets, natturnerlibrary.com. Get your tickets and join me in Virginia for the Nat Turner Solar Eclipse Earth Day celebration. What are my top 5 HBCUs? I love all the HBCUs. Speaking of HBCUs, I will be speaking at one on Thursday. Speaking of HBCUs, I will be speaking at HBCU, Edward Waters University in Jacksonville, Florida, Thursday, September the 26th, 6 p.m., but it is completely sold out. It is completely sold out. And then I will be at Howard University. Howard University. Excuse me. The event will not be at Howard's campus. There will be a conversation with Dr. Umar at the Arlington Draft House Comedy Club in Arlington, Virginia. The Arlington Draft House Comedy Club in Arlington, Virginia. Howard University Homecoming Edition, 7 o'clock on Wednesday, October 16th. Wednesday, October the 16th, 7 p.m., Arlington Draft House Comedy Club. Let me see something. Okay. So let me get back. They want to make African people a seedless, foodless race. They don't want us to have any food security. Food security is high on the genocide agenda for African people. Food security is high on the genocide agenda for African people. Food security. Reproductive security. They don't want black women having babies, and they want all of our children turned out to the rainbow. Barack Obama started this. Barack Obama started this. Barack Obama started the global rainbow crusade for the hearts and minds of African children. Food security, reproductive security. You know what the next security is? land security. Let's talk about land security. In the Caribbean islands, in Central and South America, in the Caribbean islands, and in Central and South America, there is a vested interest in stripping black people of their land. In America, it's the same thing. They don't want black people owning land, brothers and sisters. They're trying to make us a landless race globally. And if Africa keeps on giving the Chinese all these land concessions, if Africa keeps on giving Chinese all these land concessions, we may one day be a race without a place on this planet. I want y'all to listen to me. Y'all better listen to me. South Africans, I'm looking at all the land the East Indians are getting in South Africa. I'm looking at all the land the Chinese are getting in South Africa. I'm looking at all the land that the Dutch and the British already have in South Africa. If this keeps up, if the global shift towards taking black people's land continues, we might be a race without a place on our own planet. Stop selling your land. Stop selling your houses. I'm not disrespecting black queens. I'm simply saying black women need to stop suffocating their spiritual center. This is why black women can be so angry, so miserable, so nasty, suicidal, unalivings, because y'all keep suffocating your head. Beauty is more important to a lot of black women. Beauty is more important than spirituality for a lot of black women. And I'm going to tell you something right now, black men. We have to stop encouraging our women to prioritize beautification over spiritual elevation. I'm talking to black men. We have to stop sexually objectifying the queens, because when we keep on sexually objectifying the queens, we are influencing our women to prioritize beautification over spiritual elevation. That weave can't raise your children. That perm can't raise your children. That blonde hair can't raise your children. Those big eyelashes can't raise your children. That BBL can't raise your children. And then we as black men get upset at black women when they can't raise our children, but we didn't choose them for their motherly qualities. We didn't choose them for their maternal nature. We didn't choose them for their ability to raise kids. We chose them because they had the fat ass. We chose them because they had big breasts. We chose them because they had a hot sugar box. What good is a hot sugar box if she can't take care of the kids? What good is a hot sugar box if she don't want to be bothered with the children? What good is a hot sugar box on a woman who does not care to be a mother? When you hear a black woman say, I don't want to be a mother, something is organically unhealthy about the mother of civilization saying she don't want to be a mother. There's something organically wrong about that. She might say, I'm tired of being a mother. But to say, I don't want to be a mother. She might say, I'm not biologically able to be a mother. But to say, I don't want to be a mother. Black women, y'all need to re-spiritualize yourselves. I wish I had enough money Sean Carter, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. Serena Williams, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. Tiger Woods, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. Beyonce, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. Bob Johnson, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. Oprah Winfrey, are you listening? I wish I had enough money. LeBron James, are you listening? I wish I had enough money to send all of my American African sisters. I wish I had enough money to send all 25 million or so American African sisters to Africa, into the bushes. I wish I could send all 25 million American African sisters to Africa for 365-day spiritual, cultural detox. I wish I could say all African sisters in America, you are going to Africa, whether you like it or not, for 365 days in the bush, not in the city of Johannesburg, not in the city of Accra, not in the city of Lagos. No, 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 no. You're going into the bushes of Africa with the priests and the priestesses. And you're going to undergo a 365-day detox. No sex, no meat, no artificial food, no weave, no perm. But can I ask black women a real question? I want to ask black women a real question right now. My beautiful African sisters. This question is for the American African sisters. What percentage of the 25 million black women in America do you think would really cut America off, cut the weave off, cut the clothes, parties, cars, high heels, vacations, and penis off? I'm asking black women in America a question. I want you to type your answer on Instagram. Type your answer on Instagram. I want an honest answer from my American Africans. Black kings, you can answer too. Black kings, you can answer too. What percentage of the 25 million American African sisters do you think have the self-control, the discipline, and the desire to leave America for Africa for a full spiritual, cultural detox for 365 days? No weave, no perm, no artificial food, and no black penis for 365 days. One sister said nobody. Another sister said 20%. Somebody said 5%. Somebody else said 5%. Somebody said only 1%. Somebody said 30%, 35%. Somebody said none of them. 5%, 50%, 15%, 2%. This is bad. 5%. Look at how low we're too Americanized. What percentage of the 2%? That's bad. If you are correct, that is sad. Because what you're telling me, when you say only 1%, 5%, 20%, nobody said 50%, not even half. Y'all telling me not even half the black women in America would go to Africa for a year to be reborn as African women. No weaves, no perms, no sex for 365 days. Black women, you couldn't do it? That's a shame. That is an absolute shame. That we couldn't send our women to Africa for a year to get a detox because they are so addicted to European life, European fashion, and the black phallus. That is a shame. One sister said they might go for 6 months, but not a year. One sister said they might go for 6 months, but not a year. One sister said they might go for 6 months, not a year. Well, let's flip this around on the brothers. Let's flip this around. How many black men? What percentage of the 22 million or so black men in America? What percentage of the 22 million or so black men in America would leave America? The cars, the clothes, the coochie, the bunnies. The cars, the clothes, the coochie, the bunnies, and the baby mamas. What percentage of the 22 million black men in America would go to Africa 365 days in the bush? No sex, no baby mamas, no snow bunnies. No baby mamas, no snow bunnies, no wives, no cell phone, no females, to get broken down and rebuilt by the grand elders of Africa, remade into the black men we need to be. What percentage of black men? That means the corner boys, the gun hustlers, the unalivers, the bourgeois, everybody. What percentage of black men do you think could cut off the coochie and the white vagina for 365 days? What percentage of black men? Is it higher than the sisters? Somebody said 60% of black men. Somebody said 0.5%. Damn, that's low. Damn, that's low. 25%. So more men would do it than women. You're basically saying more men than women would cut off American culture. Somebody says 75% of black men would do it. I don't know if it's that high, because they would have to give up their snow bunnies. They would have to give up their snow bunnies. They would have to give up their snow bunnies, their rice bunnies, their salsa bunnies, and their sand bunnies. I don't see that. I don't think it's 75. I do not see bunny hoppers. And nobody's going to tell me that black men are not at least 25% bunny hoppers. You're not going to tell me that. I don't care what the statistics say. I see too many black men with non-African women for anybody to convince me that the black male bunny hopper population is anything less than 25%. You're out of your mind. It might be as high as 50%, but it definitely ain't lower than 25%. Brothers and sisters, let's do a couple tap-ins. Who want to tap in? Tap in. Let's do a couple tap-ins. Stop being distracted by Sean Combs. To prosper. Where you at, my queen? Sister Faith to prosper. Where are you, my queen? Going once. Going twice. Sister Faith, you're not there. Who tapping in with the prince? Going once, Sister Melissa. Going twice, Sister Melissa. Where my kings at? Let me tap a king in. The Pineapple Don. Where's the Pineapple Don? Going once. Where's the Pineapple Don? Going twice. Where's the Pineapple Don? Nobody's tapping in this morning. Wait, there we go.
All praise due to the Most High.
Absolutely.
What's up, my brother?
Where you at, my king?
In the Bronx. I'm in the Bronx,
in the
yo.
BX boogie down.
I love
boogie
your
down.
work, man. I listen to every word you say. I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate
you. Do
you. What
so
are your thoughts
for us? Huh?
Appreciate you, King. What are your thoughts on this Sean Puffy Combs situation? Number one, and number two, do you concur that this is a grand distraction to take black people's attention off the 2024 presidential election? Is it a coincidence that they decided to do this to him with 7 weeks to go before Election Day?
Um, I'm gonna say for one, I'm not really too convinced on voting because although we get to vote, the electoral college is the
Final
one who has the
decision.
final decision. So I feel like that's all a
Yes,
sham.
sir.
And this is not a democracy. This is a republic.
That's
So
right.
we got all these people bickering, and it really don't matter. Another thing I believe is 150 families run the whole world, the elites,
I'm not even sure
and they put on a
it's that.
show.
It might
Say it
be
again.
less. It might be less than that.
Yes, yes, yes. Diddy. Oh man, I feel sad for Cassie. Um, it's terrible that you think you have a friend and they're recording you. That's terrible inside of his home, and he's a shit show, man. It's sad that we gotta claim him from the Bronx, Mount Vernon, and Harlem, but it absolute power corrupts absolutely. I guess I don't know if one man deserves all that money, and he should have distributed it to his people. And he's just a really effed up individual. Excuse my language.
Mm-hmm. I agree with what you're saying, but do you also see there is a tendency to make black men the scapegoat for an entire system of corruption? Let me explain briefly. If R. Kelly molested those children, he's wrong and should be held accountable, right?
Yes.
But that does not make him the poster child for pedophilia.
Right.
Because most pedophiles don't look like you and I.
Correct.
So holding R. Kelly accountable is one thing. Making him the poster child for a system of pedophilia that's been going on way longer and on a much grander scale is unfair. For example, R. Kelly was made the poster child of pedophilia, but the Roman Catholic Church was never held accountable for millions of incidents of pedophilia.
Facts.
Let's look at Sean Combs. They're making
Facts.
Sean Combs the poster child
Yeah.
for sex trafficking, but most sex traffickers don't look like us. So it's one thing to hold somebody accountable. And I agree with you completely, King, when you say R. Kelly need to be held accountable, Puffy need to be held accountable. But when you make them the poster, when you make them the scapegoat for a whole system that the government itself is implicated in,
Yeah.
that's not fair. And my
Right.
issue with the Puff situation and my issue with the R. Kelly situation, good brother, is they're not only holding them accountable for what they did, they're making them the poster child, the scapegoat for a whole system. In other words, they're making it seem like if we take down R. Kelly, we take down pedophilia. That's a lie. If we take down Sean Puffy Combs,
We know it's mostly the
we take
Caucasus
down
doing it. We know it's mostly
absolutely,
the Caucasians doing it.
absolutely.
And another thing, why are the parents not held responsible for the selling out their own children to R. Kelly?
Not only
That was
that,
the thing that had me like, hold on, if R. Kelly got to go to jail, the parents lie to him, tell him you 18. You know what I'm saying? All of that was through text message from parent to child. These Aaliyah's parents sold her out. You feel what I'm saying? Like these parents need to be held responsible, and a lot of people don't need to be having kids because they not mentally there, bro. Having a kid is the ultimate sacrifice, bro.
yes,
And I just want to say one more thing. Dr. Umar, we got it. I love you. You had an interview. I think it was with Art, and bro, we gotta tackle this child support thing. I believed in
we
everything
do.
you said, bro.
Well, what's your take on the
Time
child
needs to be
support?
split. Time needs to be split, not money. Why am I paying for a child to be disrespecting me who I have no power over? Yo, you hit that on the head so much, bro. You hit that right on. Bro, my daughter, we go through 8 months with her not talking to me. 4 months with her not talking to me because her mom, yo, your dad, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, that system needs to be ripped
I
down.
agree. I
Judges,
agree.
lawyers. Yo, I went to court and the judge told me I need a lawyer. I'm like, nah, I want to represent. They said, nah, you need to have another lawyer. Her lawyer and my lawyer, buddy, hanging out. What's up? Bro, they took away. I said, I don't want every other weekend. I want one full week. She gets one full week. I'll handle my
Right.
responsibility.
50-50
She'll
down the
help
middle.
on her time. They said, Nah, since you didn't want every other weekend, just take the 8 hours a week you were getting. I get to see my daughter 8 hours a week, bro. That my
Wow.
daughter is my rock. You don't know how
Yeah.
much that tore me down. I thought about killing myself. Like, it's insane, bro, what this country gets to do to people. Is you right?
Yes, sir.
It's back to Africa for real. I was in Ghana
Absolutely.
and it was beautiful.
Yes,
It was
sir.
beautiful.
I'm gonna be doing a group trip to Ghana early next year. I'm working on it right now, so I'm gonna keep you posted on that. But
Yeah.
thanks for tapping in, my brother.
All
I
right, thank you.
appreciate you.
Appreciate
All
you.
right,
Thank you
God.
for
Be
the
safe
work.
out
If you
there.
need graphic designers or anything, you can hit me up. I'll send you a
Shoot me a
DM.
text. You got my number. You got my cell. Take it
I'll look it up.
right now. Take it right now. Can you
Yeah,
take it right now? It's
yes, sir.
215
Yeah,
989
yeah.
9858. I could definitely use some graphic designers.
Hold on,
215
989. One more time.
9858. 215 989.
Yeah, I would love to help out with the mission any way possible, brother. I
Oh,
know
man,
you
I
need
appreciate
soldiers.
that.
I do video. I would love to come down to the school, shoot something one day. All of that.
How good do you do video
I
editing as well?
do video editing as well, brother.
Okay, listen
Anything you need, I
to
got
this.
you.
Let me drop this on you. And then when you text me, I'm going to reach out to you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting together a reality show.
Yes.
It's going to be called Date with the Doctor. And so it's
Okay.
going to be me and the queen. It's going to be clean, though, professional. And
Yeah.
we're going to sit down and have a conversation about life, love, and the world over
I
dinner.
could chop it up.
You feel me? Over dinner. And then we're going to do one slow dance. And then we're going to go for a walk outside in the park. And that's
Yeah.
going to be it. And then we're going to edit it up, throw it up on YouTube. And so twice a month, I'm having these intimate conversations with Black women about life, love, and the Black
You gonna
community.
be teaching everybody like you always
Yes,
do.
sir. Yes,
I,
sir. So
I,
definitely shoot me that text. I want
I
to add
will.
you
I
to that video.
definitely will. I'll show you some of my work in the text as well.
Okay, King.
I
Appreciate you.
appreciate you.
All right, man. One love. Yes, the Date with the Doctor reality show will be happening. Black women, if you're interested in coming out. And by the way, this is going to be a very clean reality show. This is going to be very clean. You could call it a podcast, reality show. I want to promote the Black woman, her business. I want to promote her issues, her concerns, her views on love and family. It's going to be clean. She's going to come classy. We're going to throw a couple celebrities in there. We're going to throw a couple celebrities in there. You know what I mean? We're going to throw a couple celebrities in there. You know what I'm saying? Date with the Doctor. It's going to be mostly everyday sisters, Black professional sisters, working sisters, sisters of every so-called social economic level. Okay. You're going to have to be natural, though, ladies. You will have to be as Ifa Tunde requires. So if your hair not natural, you may have to wear a hair wrap because we're promoting natural women on the Date with the Doctor podcast, Date with the Doctor reality show. So you got to be natural. You also cannot be a married woman out of respect for your husband. You can't have a king. If you have a king, you know, and he still wants you to come on the show because it will be respectful. So he won't be disrespected. I would need to hear from him. But I think it's best that we don't have sisters and relationships on the show out of respect for my brothers. Okay. So that's coming real soon. Date with the Doctor. You will make your way to Delaware on your own dollar, and we will promote you and your business. We're looking for Black women in business. Shea Butter. You got your own law practice. You got your own accounting firm. You got your own massage parlor. Whatever you do, you got your own cleaning business. I'm going to use the Date with the Doctor to promote Black women. Okay? I'm not going to worry about their bodies too much, brothers, because I'm not going to be inspecting no Black woman's body. But the hair needs to be natural. Anybody asking questions about the school is going to be blocked because I went live from the school 2 or 3 times this week. I gave an update on the school. So if you're asking questions about the school, I'm going to assume that you are a YouTubian struggle streamer, and I'm just going to block you because I think that's what I need to do. Okay? So the Date with the Doctor is coming. Who tapping in next? Who tapping in next? We're going to do a few more. Who tapping in next? They should be physically healthy, not 300 pounds. I'm not putting a weight restriction on it. Full figure queens, I love them as much as the extra skinny queens. I don't care if you extra teeny or extra large. A black woman is a black woman, and I love them all. Who tapping in next? Malika Entertainment going once. Malika Entertainment going twice.
I'm
Sister
in the,
Malika, how you doing, gorgeous?
I'm doing good.
How's everything with you?
Everything is well. I have so happy to tap in on this Diddy thing. I've been seeing you talking about this for the last few days, and I have a lot to say.
Talk to me.
So pretty much, I don't know if you knew that I was on Making the Band with P Diddy.
I didn't know
Um,
that.
yeah, I was on there. I made it to the top three out of hundreds of thousands of women. Um, I worked with him. I was on there for 2 seasons, so I made it to the final day that we were supposed to make the choice of who was going to be on the band, and he kept me, Aubrey, and Andrea. So I've actually had an opportunity to work with Diddy personally.
Okay.
And what I don't like when it's all hit the fan is how many people desire for me to speak negatively about him.
Mm,
And if I wasn't solid right now, let me take off this tag because I don't need them knowing where I'm at for real. If I wasn't solid, let me tell you something. Payday on deck for me because I could say anything about P. Diddy right now that I want to say. It's nothing that I can't say that anybody wouldn't believe. He did this to me. He tried to, whatever negative that I would want to say about Diddy right now, people would believe it. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, the media controls the way people are thinking. This is nothing but a public lynching. Now,
yes.
people have been
Yes.
going crazy on me because they like, you're protecting Diddy. It's not about protecting Diddy. It's about my own personal experience with him. He never came at me sideways. He never done none of that to me. To me. And I didn't never carry myself like I was the person that you could do
Right.
that
You
with.
didn't
So
hide it.
yeah, but what I did see when we was doing Making the Band, because I was on there for a few years, that show went on because I came back and forth. What I did see was many women throwing themselves at him. What I did see is a lot of women in the house willing to do any and everything to make the band. And that's probably why I am where I am today, because I wasn't willing to do none of those things. As a person, you have a choice to accept it or not accept it. And if you got any footage of Diddy, he was talking to me. That was one of the best times of my career in my music because he pushed me to a level that I've never, to this day, probably have worked that hard. We worked really hard. It was all positive. It was, for me, that's my experience. So let me just be a voice because I don't see none of these people that was toasting with all these big bottles of champagne and dying to be at his party. I don't know where these people are. I do not condone what I seen him do on the videotape with Cassie.
Yeah.
I don't condone that.
Yes.
So I'm not, I'm just saying what my experience was and the way that I'm being offered interviews. And when we do the little preliminary, getting it together for the podcast, it don't go through because they don't want to hear what I have to say. I don't have that. When people still see me on the street, they're like, oh, did he do this to you? Nah. He motivated me, inspired me, encouraged me, and I worked the hardest that I ever worked when I was on Making the
Let me
Band.
ask
So
you
let me just
a
clear that up.
question, Queen.
Yeah.
To your point,
Okay.
when you see all the black people who are rushing in to condemn, and of course, we are not protecting, and we believe anyone who is actually guilty of those kind of allegations need to be held accountable. But
Right.
here's my question. We don't practice justice in the black community. We have pedophiles in the black community. We don't expose them. We
Right.
got domestic abusers in the black community. We don't hold them accountable. We have sex traffickers in the black community. Nobody says anything. So my question to you is, are we being hypocrites when we are so quick to want to see Sean Puffy Combs held accountable for crimes that go on every day in the black community that most of us will overlook and ignore, even in the church?
Absolutely. Because most black people don't want for their brother or sister what they want for themselves. So that's a big problem right there. Why are we laughing at what's happening to P. Diddy? When this happens with other white people in the community or Epstein, all these people, I don't even know their name because we're not laughing at them like we laugh at P. Diddy. We're not laughing at them like we laugh at R. Kelly. We're not laughing at them when we see somebody else's downfall. We're absolutely being hypocrites because you made a point one time where you like, I'm not condoning what P. Diddy saying, but did you do the same thing when you seen your homeboy slapping up his girlfriend?
Absolutely.
Did you do the same thing when your daddy was doing whatever? We see it, but we are so envious of each other that it's like finally this we get to see him go down. Why are we rejoicing in his downfall?
And
And
you
I'm
know
not.
what?
It's not. But it's hypocrisy for sure.
It is. And you know what? To me, it's almost like we have traded places with white society. Because when you look at the lynchings, the hundreds of years of lynchings, when thousands of white people would go to a football stadium to see a black person killed,
That's
now you do it remotely.
yes.
And it's not just the white people who are rushing in to watch the public lynching. Black people are rushing to YouTube to watch the public lynching. We're rushing to cable TV. We're rushing to social media. It's like we switch places with our oppressor, and now we are rushing in for these mass public lynchings of these black personalities.
It's the same exact thing, and that's why a lot of people I feel don't speak up because they don't want to lose their seat at Master's table.
Yeah.
And see, for me, that when I was on his show, when I went to the studio and I had lots of propositions to do this, to do that, I've had somebody offer me, I'm gonna make you a celebrity if you could do all kind of crazy stuff, and I'm like, who you talking to? Who you
Mm-hmm.
talking to? You're not talking to me. Because if I'm gonna get down with you, I'm gonna get down with you because it's true and it's authentic, not to make it to the next level.
Right.
So many people desire to be on that status, but don't want to put in the type of work, don't want to put in the type of effort that it takes to get there. So when we see a Diddy coming down, we laugh and we posting memes. But this is like you said, this is the same thing as pulling him out in front of all of us to watch and giving him the 50,000 lashes. He's getting his lashes right
Yeah.
now. Now,
Mm-hmm.
baby oil, all, like you said yesterday, I'm like, speak on that. What is the charge? Every
What?
time they talking to me on a podcast, they're like, well, Arbery said this. What did she say? What happened to Arbery? Because she just keep getting on saying, I'm going to tell y'all later. I'm going to tell you like this. If you came at me sideways off the top, it's not going to be no later. I would have exposed you right on the show. But sis, if you watching, you was the one going to changing the booty shorts every time Diddy showed up. I was sitting there trying to suck up the game and ask him questions and see what's going on. Diddy is being lynched. I don't know, partying. He learned, first of all, America's hella filthy. We learned all of this from white folks, to be honest. Like, if we really want to keep it real, where we even get our nature is not even all of this entertainment Hollywood stuff. That's why I am where I am now. People say, Malika, you still do music? Yeah, I do what I want to do when I feel like doing it. I shoot my own videos because all that extra stuff that y'all asking me to do to make it to the so-called top, I'm not doing it. But I'm
Right.
still doing my music. I'm still doing my good vibes. I'm still doing what I want to do that makes me feel good, not because you told me to, oh, make my skirt a little bit higher or show a little bit more cleavage, be a little more sexy, talk a little bit more like Little Kim. I was never doing none of that.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe that I made it as far as I did on the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started finding out who I really was. And I believe when I started doing those interviews and then they got to the true matter of who I was eliminated. Because they like, we don't need that type of sister coming out being I'm not doing all that extra stuff like that.
That's right.
But
That's right.
what we're doing to Diddy right now is no different than pulling him out in front of all the slaves and saying, this right here, this is what we gonna do to him. It's the same thing. What's the brother that they did that to for posting the YouTube? What's his name? He's a sports player. Kyrie? Was his name Kyrie Irving?
Yes, the one who with the Hebrews to Negroes, Negroes
Yeah,
to
that
Hebrews.
was a lynching. That was
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing. R. Kelly, all of these, Bill Cosby. So, girl,
yes.
you want to come out 10 years later talking about, I went to his room at 2 in the morning, I took a drink with him. What was, huh? Okay. I don't condone, see, then people, they're going to hit me on the DM. I don't condone rape. I don't condone, let me preface it with this. I don't
Right,
condone
right,
Diddy beating on
right.
any woman. I don't. I
But we,
don't. But I'm gonna tell you
what
what.
you're saying is but even though we don't condone it, at the same time, you can't expect us to dismiss our common sense when we're
Exactly.
evaluating an allegation. That's all we're saying. Don't ask me to dismiss my common sense
Yeah.
where you bring me nonsense that clearly shows you wanted what happened.
And we died to settle on the worst part. Why do we do that to each
That's
other?
true.
People talking
That's true.
about your school, where the money, but you Negroes gave Kamala Harris as soon as she said she was voting
Was that
her.
30 million in one night, right?
What are you talking about?
$30 million in one night. Not for a school, not for a hospital, not for a bank, not for no jobs. $30
But
million
you
dollars
can't
in
raise
one night
money.
to
Hit
run
the
for
cash
president.
app. Okay? Stop playing. I'm telling you, I'm not in the mood for none of this. I've been like, please let me tap in because I'm just I really just want people to understand, y'all. If I went out there right now, people know me from that show. To this day, people love me. I was a popular, it was years ago. I was in the beginning of it. But here's the thing. If I came out today and I said anything about Diddy, do you understand that I could say
Yeah.
anything and
And get the
they are gonna
cameras and
believe
the
it?
newspapers and everything.
I could get I if I wasn't solid, I would be cashing out right now off of my story because they know I made it. It's easy for you to Google. And I'm just like, wow, I could say anything and y'all gonna believe it. People, my people, we gotta stop being so attached to what the media say, believing it, not doing your research. Look into it, know your history. I can't remember the brother I did the research on a boxer. The same thing that they're saying that Diddy doing, it sounds like Diddy was taking women out of town and having a good time with them, and they're
Right.
turning that into a federal crime.
Yeah.
You telling me
Well,
that
remember,
sound like Diddy was
same thing with
taking
R. Kelly.
all the bad
Remember,
girls that he met? Now I'm standing out here,
remember
baby.
too, Sister Malika, R.
Sounds
Kelly's
like Diddy
charge.
was having a good time with the
Well,
girls
same
that he
thing
was
with R.
hanging out
Kelly.
with and
Remember with
taking them.
R. Kelly, it wasn't with R. Kelly, it wasn't the pedophilia so much as it was the interstate sex trafficking. Remember, they did the same thing with R. Kelly. They said he was transporting women across state lines for sex. That's the
Right.
same thing they hit Diddy with. So I think that's going to be the new takedown for black men. If you
But
link
you see
up
how
with a
you
woman
said
who,
they said. We
yeah,
still, why are we so quick? Everybody has already thrown Diddy under the bus. And all we really seen was that he did have a brawl with his girlfriend at the time, who, by the way, was with him on the red carpet about 2 days later. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
and it's
So that's
about
their
$50
business at the
million
end of the
dollars
day.
richer right now, right?
Right. Why are we still talking about her? She got now. See, I hate when I get to getting too hyped because I'm not dismissing that should have never happened to no woman, black, white, red, or
Right.
brown. But at the same
But she
time,
wasn't upset enough to do something about it in the moment.
in the
Okay,
moment,
and was clearly willing to take the payoff to be quiet, and only went for a payoff once she married her snow puppy, who told her to go back and get that money
that's
because
the
we
real
need it.
pimp. I'm sorry, her husband is the real one. Because let me tell you something. I wouldn't even want my king for me to go back and get some money. We ain't taking none of that man money. You minds
That's
now. You feel me?
right. That's right.
We're not, me personally, I don't want to go back and get money from somebody like that. And I got my new king. Why we taking money from him? You still Cassie. That's just what
That's
I
right.
thought on top
That's
of it.
right.
But think about it. After that happened to her, she was with him on the red carpet. So whatever they did, whatever makeup to break up sex they had that night, I don't know. But she was dosey dos some quattro on the red carpet with him 2 days later. So that's their business at the end of the day. If her daddy or her brother didn't come do that, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. And
No, I'm
I
with you.
think
I'm with you.
my main thing right now.
There's multiple layers to these stories. They cannot just be reduced to one issue, is what you're saying. You got to
Right.
look at this through a lot of different layers and not just what the media is feeding you. But back to what you said earlier, we love to see each other suffer. And we
We do.
definitely love to see successful black people suffer. It is that crab in the barrel. We try to disguise it saying we want justice. But if you want justice, you would have went after all the Roman Catholic priests who raped all them black kids if you wanted justice. You'd be going after all these white sex traffickers of black girls if you wanted justice. We don't ever pursue justice when it's with outside the community. But soon when the white person wants to lynch somebody inside the community, all of a sudden we want
We
justice.
with it and we there. And it's just like all these people that's doing it, promoters and stuff, y'all would have died for Diddy to be at your party 2 days ago. Y'all would have died. Like, why? I just don't get it, because we supposed to be in America, innocent until proven guilty. So right now we all really are talking about speculation. Really, like, only thing we really know that Diddy did is be Cassie, have
And
some
have the
baby oil,
freak offs.
had the freak offs, but y'all knew he was the whole industry is a freak off. That's what I love about me. I've been around all of that to the 10th power, but then I've still been in my people, my struggle in the community. I've seen it all. It's all hella freaky. That's why I'm here and I'm doing vacation and doing my thing, because none of that was for me. Who you talking to? It was all a freak off. Many women would do, I seen it. They would do anything to make it, what you call making it. But then later on, you selling your soul, and then when it come down to it, they gonna throw you on the bus and do whatever they want to do with you. Even if you think you made it, they can. They made you. Whoever make you can destroy you. And I always was taught that, so I always kept my values when I was rolling around in this Hollywood world and all that. And it's hella fake. It's a face for a face. Where is all the people that was toasting with Diddy at them billionaire brunches? Where are they? Don't none of y'all got nothing to say on his behalf? I feel
Nah, they
like you're
scared
the
of the
only
power
person that's
structure.
speaking up for
They
him right
scared of the
now.
power structure. They scared of the Me Too. They scared of the feminist agenda. They scared of everything. We are a very scary
All of
people.
that. And Diddy,
Yeah,
and think about this too. Diddy did what he did, but Diddy was for our people. He was really trying to build and do more. He still was caught up in that Hollywood lifestyle,
right.
but he really did as much as he think he could look out for our people. If you do remember this too, Diddy played the Savior's Day message, the Criterion, about 3 years ago, Minister Farrakhan, on Revo TV.
Uh,
Now you
uh, I didn't
know
know that. I didn't know
you
that.
can't be just putting no Farrakhan message up on your channel, brother.
Yeah.
Now you know Bill Cosby tried to buy
Yep.
NBC. What kind of content was Bill Cosby going to put on NBC? Now you know Diddy was challenging the tequila company or whatever
Yeah.
on just
That
not
that
wanting
that that's
to
who
be your
really
pool
started
boy.
this. Yeah.
See, we gotta really listen. They want us to maintain, even though y'all see all these celebrities with money and doing all of this, it's still a slave
It's
master
just
relationship
a
most
it's
of the
just a
time.
more expensive plantation. That's all.
It's a more expensive plantation. So just stay focused, stay woke. Y'all keep listening to the good doctor, because you keeping us up on game and you doing it in a way that makes it palatable for thugs, for intellects, for like everybody can easily listen to you. So I would say anybody that's watching this, stay listening, stay focused, stay tapped in, and just stop believing what white folks tell us. If they tell you
Yes.
the ice is colder, you gonna believe it. We gotta stop it with that. It's been too
I'm
long
with you.
now. We still doing the same thing.
I'm
Like, we're
with you.
still doing the same thing. Want for your brother or sister what you want for yourself. Let's stop crucifying him along with the media. And he haven't even been convicted yet. Y'all already got this man as the worst man ever. I can't believe you take up for him. He ain't do that to me. He gave me one of the best times of my life, sis. I'm still doing hostings and getting my money off of that in the way that I choose to.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I worked very hard when I was with Diddy. He pushed me to a limit that I never been pushed to. So if this ever gets back to him, stay strong. They taking you down, bro. I know what you did. It's the tequila. It's the minister's message. It's a few things added in. He's not a weak ass black man. He
I
wasn't
feel
just,
you.
oh yes, that wasn't
I
Diddy. He
feel
was
you.
too strong. He was too
I feel you.
powerful, and they
A lot
taking
more
him down.
conscious than most of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for tapping me
Appreciate
in. I don't know
you,
if it's
Queen.
any more questions. I heard about your little reality show. You did.
You gonna come on there. You're gonna be one of the guests so we can talk
Oh,
life, love, and the
oh,
future of the black community.
Lord, God willing. All right.
All right, Queen. We talk soon. All right, Mama. Be blessed. That was a good tap in. My good sister Malika. She was with us at Nat Turner Land for the Nat Turner War celebration, August the 21st. I hope to see y'all at the Nat Turner Earth Day celebration on the eclipse of Libra, October the 2nd. Get your tickets at natturnerlibrary.com. Let me see if Faith to Prosper is ready.
Let's see if Faith to Prosper is ready. Nah. Who tapping in? Hollywood Phil, where you at? Hollywood Phil, where you at? Hollywood Phil, where you at? I'm trying to tap y'all in. Saheem Perry, where you at, good brother? Saheem Perry going once. Saheem Perry going twice. Saheem Perry, are they stopping y'all from tapping in?